Just keep going. Sorry, man. I wasn't recording that. All right, cool. I think everything's going, bud.
Everything's going. The scenery looks good in my hot swim balloon.
Testing,
Hi, Squidward.
Testing. All right, you can't do that 2 times in a row, okay? Jesus. All right. You're on thin ice, mister.
I've always been on thin ice.
All right.
I break everything I touch, including Mike's eardrums.
My fragile innocence.
All right, we'll be back. Our team is setting up.
Okay. That's good. All right. I've been including a lot more of these shots where we're setting up just so that people understand the work that it takes
our
to get
team
in.
puts in to have everything set up. You know, I really wish he had the clip when he was bringing that light. You can't see the light. Yeah. But he was bringing in that light. It almost fell.
It almost fell.
At the end of episode 2, that thing actually hit the table. After the cameras were off.
So many times has that light almost fallen.
Or has fallen and it was not on camera.
Yeah. But I like to include it so that people see that this isn't... I mean, yes, this is just 2 jackasses in a room talking about nonsense.
2 jackasses and a slave.
But so there's this comedian. We'll get to the introductions. There's this comedian, Kyle Kinane, who talks about when he used to work at a pizza shop, a pizza restaurant, and his boss would only put his name down for tax purposes as the only person who worked in that restaurant. So the idea that one person does everything is absolutely ridiculous. You know, one person does the cash register.
When we get monetized, Mike? Yeah. Everything. I bring the cheese mess to the show. So,
that is true. That is true. And you are social media captain.
Yeah, social media captain. Soon I'll be OnlyFans captain. You'll see me cross-dressing like Vladimir. Be like, no, brother, I'm not the guy. What are you talking about? I'm not the guy.
Do you have OnlyFans? Of course.
Of course, brother. Of course.
Dude, that is one of my... That is... All right, I'll just go ahead and say it. That is my favorite thing that has come out in the year. That clip.
The clip of Vladimir
cross-dressing. Oh my God, the light.
You are my dream girl. Yeah. Your dream girl has a penis.
All right, I'm going to see. I can't promise anything. I'm going to see if I can find that clip and post it right here.
Like my dream girl. Your dream girl has a penis?
Oh, I can send it to you. I have the clip.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I actually
send it. So yeah, oh my God, that's awesome. You've knocked out half of the work for me.
And he says I don't do the work.
No, thank you, brother.
Good, you're welcome, brother. Well, how you been, Mike?
I'm doing just fantastic. Welcome to another fantastic episode of Shreddy Bois. What you been up to?
Oh, not much. Yeah, you know what? I think we talked about everything that Oh wait, no, never mind. At the time of recording the last episode in April, after that, or days after, I went to Chaos and Carnage Tour 2023.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that where you got that dirt on your shoulder?
Holy shit. Yeah, totally. It's totally where I got that dirt.
We'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah, no, you know, you'll have to find out when the episode drops, but yeah, you know, you'll see what happened. But anyways, no, so that's not where I got the patch of dirt from. But
I know.
Yeah,
I'm making a joke.
Yeah, you're making a joke because last time I pointed when the camera clicked. But anyways, no. So it was basically like just a bunch of bands: Suicide Silence, Dying Fetus, Slay Squad, Crown Magnetar. I'm like trying to Born of Osiris.
Okay.
What else? Aborted, and another Sengi Sugabog. There you go.
Okay. So who was your favorite?
My favorite was Dying Fetus, and
Dying Fetus.
I also like Sanguisugabog. We played a game called Murder Football where he throws a football in the pit, and whoever catches it, cool. But whoever brings it back to him, you get a free shirt. And I almost had it. I had it.
Oh my god,
but
that seems a lot funner than. I remember I went to a Cannibal. Not Cannibal. Was it Cannibal?
How many bands with the name Cannibal are there?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what the name of the band was. They're no longer a band, unfortunately. But they pointed and they're like, whoever can mosh the hardest gets a free T-shirt.
Oh, and Abnormality.
Cannibal. That's what it is. I don't know why it's the one. You know what? They opened up for Cannibal Corpse. That's what it was.
That's why.
I'm like Cannibal Corpse.
Abnormality. Oh, that's the story where you try to mosh and then you ended up getting dropped.
So
in the pit.
Sorry, we'll get back to your story. This is just quick. I went. Don't give the camera that face. I got out of mosh retirement for that show.
You got into mosh retirement.
They said
got out.
Anybody who can mosh the hardest gets a T-shirt, and I'm like, all right, here we go. I cracked my knuckles, and I'm like coming out of mosh retirement, and it was about me and 6 other people. And I did not win the T-shirt. Let's just say that I got dropped on my ass, and
it might have been me.
And my back and ass literally were in pain for like the next week.
My back and ass.
I couldn't sit. I got thrown onto the ground, and they picked me up, obviously, but it was bad. I got hurt for nothing. I came home empty-handed.
I mean, I would have
like
said
a bad pirate.
I was like, poor Mike when I hurt the bank, but when he said my ass, that sounds a little sus. But anyways.
Oh my god. Hey, I was at a metal show.
Sounds a little spicy.
You know what happens in metal shows, don't you?
Yeah, we moshed to Never Gonna Give You Up, because that's literally what happened at...
If you have those clips, send it.
Yeah, I got it.
Include it right.
You're going to include it right there. Yeah. You can see me singing along and going in a circle pit. Oh man!
So
much fun. You know,
you play mosh football. You danced.
Murder football.
Never gonna give you up.
Yeah. No, I mean the thing about murder football is, you know, I had the guy that had the ball, but not realizing there's gonna be assholes just dogpiling on you for no reason.
Taking
they don't care
advantage.
about the ball. No, yeah, I had like 6 people dunking on me that day. I was like,
really? Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny.
No, but that was a good time, you know, a good time. Very good.
It's good time. So there was like, what would you say, like 7 bands? 6?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then, I'm not too much of a fan of Bono Osiris, but you know that one song, Bow Down?
The Alien Noise band?
Yeah, well, you remember that song where it starts out with fucking Bow Down? Or no?
I do not. I'm actually not a,
I'm not either, but, so this is an inside joke from like my buddy PUBG and JC Pops would used to do back then. We'll play the opening Rodrigo will play the opening drum, be like tick and we'll be like beep go go, because it'll be like fucking bowed. But I actually yelled that out when it started. I was like, as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh, this is my time to shine. Oh man, people were laughing. Cool. I wish I could have recorded it, but I wasn't expecting that to happen, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, and you were busy and
busy washing, pushing people and everything, but it was fun. It was the best night of my life, you know.
Best night of your life.
Sold out show too. That's by the way.
Where at?
The Forge. Basically, I went to the Forge twice last month.
Yes.
The Morbid Angel show and Chaos and Carnage.
The rescheduled Morbid Angel show. Yeah, no, that's cool, man. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've been to any shows or anything exciting like that. You know, just life. Life's been happening.
Sounds kind of bland.
There's nothing planned about this. This is all extremely random.
Very extremely random, but
yeah. I got nothing.
You got nothing else to say?
I've just been playing. Are we doing what you're playing? Or am I just telling you? I'm just playing a lot of games lately, you know. So.
I mean, I would do what you're playing, but as of us recording this video, it's May 11th, a day before Tears of the Kingdom comes out. Yeah, and it is also
fancy.
It's also
you got that pre-ordered, or are you just gonna
I'm just gonna take my chances. I'm gonna push the little kid who wants the last copy. Just anyways. Aside from that,
yeah.
Do you know what today marks?
What's that, Brian?
It's May 11th, the 1 year of Trevor Sternad's passing.
Oh, yeah.
The GOAT.
R.I.P. And at this point, too, by the time this video drops, we have already dropped our video talking about their albums.
Yeah, we were fighting on the episode.
Yeah, R.I.P.
We did a little tier list, in honor of Trevor, because it was his birthday at the time of that video, and then today is the
So if
the
you haven't heard it, it's up right now. It's right now. I think it has just Shreddy Bois tier lists, and we have one video out so far, literally breaking down their entire discography that isn't live albums.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, you can see me ready to throw hands at Mike.
Yeah. It should be in the link of this the description of this video.
But don't watch that. Don't watch that now.
Keep watching this.
Keep watching this.
We still have a lot to say.
You see that I was testing him, because if he would have said watch it now, I would have beat him up.
Yeah.
Hey.
Take 5 seconds to go watch the video.
I'm gonna kill you.
Well, yeah, R.I.P. Trevor. It's interesting. They're obviously this isn't new news, but they're moving on. They brought Ryan back in the band, and they're playing a lot of shows. So it's good, man. It sucks that I'm not going to be able to see them at anything, though. It seems they haven't announced any Chicago dates, right?
There is no Chicago date.
Yeah.
No, that's the thing. There is none.
You got to go to a different state. Yeah. Or go to stinky, what is it, Indiana or something? Are they playing in Indiana? No, they're playing in Milwaukee. That's what it is. They're in the Milwaukee Fest.
Stinky Milwaukee.
Stinky Indiana. No, Milwaukee's nice. I like Milwaukee.
I was about to say, man, this guy, he hates Indiana, by the way. And I'm like, wow, you hate Wisconsin too?
I love Wisconsin. Wisconsin is great. And that's where I would live if it wasn't exactly like, temperature-wise like Chicago, And it's the land of beer and cheese. What else do you need in life?
I mean, it's the life of living in the Midwest, so I don't know why you're complaining. Shake my
I'm not complaining, okay? Who's complaining? Oh, yeah.
You are.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's
You want to get into some internet news, Brian?
Yeah, I mean, we could start off with
metal news. We got some stuff to talk about.
Yeah, we actually got a lot of shit because so aside from all the stuff that we talked about right now, there's been a massive uproar on the fucking internet lately, especially within the metal community as well. It's been fucking wild. I mean, I can start off with one. The Agonist is breaking up.
Let's do it. Metal news.
Okay. The Agonist is splitting, because obviously, it's expensive to. One of the reasons is touring, and then they're just not really feeling as motivated anymore. Yeah, that's coming to an end. I think this was this morning that I saw that post, either this morning or yesterday. But it's crazy. I was like, damn. And I'm like,
this is just one of the many bands that have been affected. I'd say not only by just being a smaller band, but ever since the pandemic, ever since streaming and stuff, it's, touring has been harder more than ever now. You're no longer an artist. What you are is a glorified t-shirt salesman, because that's how bands make most of their money now on tour. Yeah. It's just merchandise.
Yeah, definitely.
The label gives you a specific amount of money, and your team is basically who puts the shows together and what your schedule looks like. And, when music is essentially free in the modern age, you're selling t-shirts. And it's very discouraging to a certain point,
Well, I mean, the industry has changed, where the artist has more control of, how much they would make nowadays and rights. So, I mean, in a way it's good, but it's also bad because touring is really fucking expensive. You have venues being assholes, taking a cut of the merch and everything. So you guys make money out of liquor sales. What the fuck? Why do you need this,
Yeah, and then, in a lot of cases, like I was telling you the other day with, a Legion, they'll come off of a tour, and then they'll immediately go work menial jobs because most of them, because they tour, because they're musicians year round, a lot of jobs will not accommodate that kind of lifestyle. So they have to work like one of the guitar players of Legion works at a pizza place. That's a job that you'll always be able to go back to. Because they don't care. They'll just fill your position temporarily or whatever. Or Amazon warehouse. So it's like
working for Bezos, huh?
It's kind of sad.
Yeah, it is.
And that's it. That's the end of that.
That's the end of that part. And then there's what else is going on right now?
Well, here's a tiny one. Today, David Ellefson called out Dave Mustaine.
I swear to God, he's always
ever since the whole jack off gate thing.
Okay, maybe should we get context into what we're talking about? Because I'm pretty sure some people are going to be like jack off.
So. Dave Ellefson.
You know what? I'll explain it. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll explain it because
do speed round of the beginning of the.
Long story short, there was a post from Megadeth talking about a situation that involves Dave Ellefson getting a little Ellefson or whatever. I always say Ellefson. I don't know what Ellefson, but okay. Yeah. I don't know. Whatever. Their former bassist Dave.
Yeah.
He was, getting a little steamy on a webcam with. So at first they said it was a minor, and he was grooming them,
which was a lie.
Which ended up being a lie because the person who was actually, they were much younger, but they were of age, and it was consensual from what she said. And
still creepy.
I mean, it's still creepy as fuck.
Old as shit.
Dave is old as shit. It's like, this is still creepy as fuck. Not saying that it ain't creepy, but I mean, it wasn't how. So it wasn't a grooming situation or any of that. It was
just creepy.
It was a creepy thing that it's like, okay, yeah.
And before any of these details surfaced, there was only the accusations. So Dave immediately is like, you're going to go away and, we'll figure this out later. It didn't, it wasn't kicked out immediately. What I bet is they had a phone call. Dave's like, we're going to need you to step away for a bit.
We're going to need you to step away and stop, basically just get your dick out of your own hand.
Dude, immediately I'm like, oh man, this is hilarious, and I hope that they've already made memes about this. And sure enough, there was already memes about it.
I mean, I actually saw a reel of someone saying that there's still people who believe that it was a grooming situation to this day. But
that's just people who read headlines, But
yeah, I mean,
so short story.
And I'm like, okay, well, this is still fucking weird, but it wasn't.
Is just Dave Ellefson got kicked out, not permanently, but then it became permanent, and then he's telling
he's saying that Dave is bitching about Metallica for some reason.
Well, Dave Ellefson went on to form a new band, and what's still the thing, like he went through like the 7 stages of denial, where he went through bargaining, where he's like, oh, I would love to be part of Megadeth again, like there were so many headlines that suggested that like, oh, he would come back in a second, but then he like lashed out at Dave, and he went through sadness about the whole thing, and now he's at anger or whatever, which is now he's taking hits at Dave Mustaine
whenever he can, which is funny.
Yeah, and what was the thing about that? He called Dave a baby during an interview because of the whole Metallica situation.
Oh right, yeah, I remember that too.
Yeah. So he's called Dave Mustaine a baby for still talking about Metallica, and
well, I mean, isn't it because people are asking him about it to this day as well?
Here's the thing: no, he's not talking about it. It's all of us. We're still comparing.
I'm pretty
the two.
Sure everyone. Yeah, I was like, I mean, I don't really watch Dave Mustaine interviews as much, but I was like, I think they're both good now on better terms. I mean,
they've played several shows together. You know, like the Big Four show,
But I'm like, I guess David is punching air at this point. I don't know.
He's just disheveled and angry. Because here's the thing: if Dave Mustaine tomorrow was like, "Hey, you want to come back in the band?" He'll be like, "Oh yes, please, please,
please. I'll call you on the webcam.
I won't ever jack off again, please.
Only if it's with you, Dave be senpai."
Ooh. That's our first ooh of Shreddy Bois.
Don't ever fucking do that again. All right.
So that was two little mini stories for you guys.
Now for the big scoop.
Here's the big boy story.
This is it's pretty serious and it's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, I'm only laughing because that's how I deal with these kinds of things, is through humor. So.
What don't you laugh at? But anyways, so about it was over the weekend. There was news surfacing that this involves the band Vulvodynia, and it's one of my favorite slam death metal bands. A little backstory into this: we actually had Duncan feature in an Under Red Skies song when I was in Under Red Skies at the time. So this was the song Plummet, and back then I was very proud, and I was like, damn, it's an honor that we had him. I mean, we also had
poster right here now.
Shit, no. I'm like, yeah,
don't do that.
Don't do that, because I'm gonna get into why.
I'm joking.
Why I'm like, yeah. Anyways, so yeah, I mean, at the time it was, but then what happened recently is Duncan attacked, and he tried to kill his own drummer. And because I saw the photos, like when I woke up in the morning, I was like, it was like 5 a.m, and I'm just like, am I seeing this correctly? And I'm gonna fall back to sleep. And then
so explain the timeline though. When did that surface? Would you say 2 days ago from today?
Sunday. So Sunday. It was today's Thursday, so about 3 to 4 days ago.
4 day gap.
A 4 day gap. So
yeah.
Sunday, the news of that breaks out, and this was in Prague. I don't know where Prague is. The city of Prague is located, but
Europe.
I think it's somewhere in Europe.
Somewhere in Europe. You don't watch Shreddy Bois for the intelligence here.
For the
you're doing it for the lols.
For the lols
and the riff challenges.
Two bumbling idiots. But anyways, back on topic.
Yeah.
So what happened is, according to the band and the drummer, they started noticing changes in Duncan's behavior. He was saying a lot of crazy shit, especially he had remarks towards like homeless people, apparently, from what I read. And they thought he was intoxicated, and the drummer was like, hey, are you drunk? Because usually pretty much whenever Duncan gets intoxicated, he kind of lashes out in random random acts of violence against his bandmates and other people on the tour package. Like, he's been pretty problematic for quite some time. I mean, even my friend said that one time he cut like a set short because he was way too drunk. Like, basically it was like half. He cut it in half rather than the full like set. But yeah, so after he told him that, Duncan basically was beating the crap out of him, and he broke his nose. And I even saw the pictures. There was a fuck ton of blood around the hotel room and everything.
Should I include those? Yeah.
I mean, I would just include the picture of Tom, because I don't think it's best we just include those. I'll
just do the bandaged up version.
Yeah, it's fucked up. It is very messed up.
And also, guys, this is not a secret or anything. You could, if you haven't heard of all this is all on their social media.
Yeah, it was headlining. So it was on Facebook, but he had access to it still, and he took it down. But it was on their Instagram, and a lot of the metal publishers were like Metal Sucks, Metal
covered
Injection,
it immediately.
I think Lamb God was also another one too. Yeah. But yeah, it was everywhere, and they were also saying the same thing. Loudwire. It spread everywhere, and everyone had something to say, including me. And it's like, yeah, I mean, as I said, I felt honored that he was a part. He featured, and now it's like, damn, I supported a problematic piece of shit.
Well, yeah, you didn't know. You didn't know at the time,
I mean, yeah, but it still sucks, though. It's like, damn, like, this dude was I considered him one of my favorite vocalists.
Yeah.
And seeing that, it's like, bro, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Like,
so that happened. Those pictures surfaced. They explained their situation, and then they went into very specific. They're like, he deleted the Facebook post. He still has access. He's trying to silence us, and they also said
he will never.
The man is very manipulative.
Oh, yeah, very manipulative, and he will never be in the band again. Obviously, because they said that they've been trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, even for this tour, because they're touring in Europe right now.
Yeah. And
they're still carrying on with the tour, which I'm going to say Tom is a fucking trooper for still wanting to go on tour despite what happened.
Dude, it's crazy.
It's insane. Yeah.
I mean, it's essentially you just experienced a large amount of trauma.
Definitely.
And you're like, we're just going to plow through it,
Well, I mean, due to financial reasons, I mean, even he said the same thing. But yesterday, it was actually yesterday.
Okay. Yeah. You
Duncan responded, and I
night.
sent this to you, and I'm like, this is the shittiest response I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, it's very messy. First, he starts off with, "I wasn't trying to kill Tom." I'm like, motherfucker, the beatdown you gave him, if you went any further, he would have been dead. Like, well, what do you mean you weren't trying? Like,
yeah, it was rough. Those pictures were rough.
They were insane. Like, it was a crazy sight to see, to be honest, you know? And most of it, I don't know, like, his response does not sit well with me at all. Like, I mean, he does say he has issues and everything and he needs to get help, but which obviously, of course, he does have a problem. But
he did the thing that a lot of abusers do, where he's like, he's like, yes, I'm at fault, but not really.
Because I was drunk or something. Yeah, it's like, no, you are a problem.
He kept like deflecting. He took every single point and is like, yes, part of this is my fault, but also it's their fault, or yes, I wasn't drunk, you know, like, I don't know what they're talking about, but yes.
So it's funny because he tried saying that the band tried making it seem like he was drunk, but the band even said, we thought it was the alcohol, but that wasn't the case, which means he wasn't drunk.
They acknowledged that.
They acknowledged he has mental issues, obviously. He's going through shit. Mm-hmm. And they even said, you know, they don't wish any harm upon him, and, you know, they hope that he gets the help he deserves, but he's never coming back in this band again. But the way Duncan is responding, he's trying to twist the whole narrative, trying to make it seem like he's the victim and all this shit. It's like, it's very stupid. You know, it's like, oh, great. And there's also, well, I mean, here's the thing. He did mention that his wife was getting death threats and everything. I don't know whether that's true or not, but I mean, if it is, then, you know, no one should do that, obviously. But I will say, you know, the only thing I will say about that is I wish her the best if, you know, she does continue to be with him. I'm not going to be like, you should leave him, you should stay. You know, that's...
Yeah, well, that was also in the original post, as they talk about how he has been violent towards his wife. And in whatever capacity, I'm not sure.
I mean, we're not really sure. I mean... He does bring it up on the post or something, and his response.
Yeah.
He brings it up himself. Originally, we were not going to bring this up, but now that we see, I'm like, well, he brought it up on the response, but he pretty much incriminated himself, saying it did happen, but it was because he was blacked out drunk
but
or
they
something.
also worked it out, you know, like, very vague language.
And we're not really going to get into, you know, what should be done at this point. It's really up to, you know, her and... But the
whole point here is just, you know, just the band aspect of this whole thing is, you know, this happened. They posted clearly. This doesn't seem like it's a drummer versus, you know, the vocalist thing. This seems like it's the entire band is, you know,
just had enough of this.
They're done with it.
Like, they've been, I don't know how long have they been dealing with this, but I'm pretty sure it might have been long enough. I mean, it's insane. You know, they're like, nope, we're done with him. No more.
Because we have also talked about it, you know, off camera, obviously, about our own relationships with, like, toxic band members in the past, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's rough, you know, when there's, like, sometimes there's just no solution. And I've never faced an abusive, like, physically person.
I've never faced...
it's always been mental or...
verbal. Yeah, I mean, I've never really had, like... I mean, never really have, like, that many negative... or I wouldn't say I had any significantly, like, negative experiences with, like, people that are forming bands. You know, we just broke up or we went our separate ways, but we're still friends, you know?
Right.
But if it goes, like... But just imagine, like, that's like, if that were me, I guess, like, going through that, like, being, like, you know, being to a pulp, I'm like, I want to go home.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Like, I want to get
it's done. You know, once, I mean, hell, I'd say even after the first extremely heated, like, the way that they talked about their interactions was they'd be, like, screaming at each other, you know, and that kind of energy just doesn't go away.
Yeah, there's,
you know,
I was like, man, a lot of red flags are raised in here, but
so many red flags.
Yeah, definitely. But anyways, yeah, I mean, the metal community was up in arms about this. They were, I mean, there's people, making jokes about him saying, imagine being in a slam death metal band and being under 200 pounds.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, shit.
But for the most part, everything I've seen was like, oh my God, I'm glad, you guys are all right. And
yeah, like, everyone's like, damn, like, nobody should ever go through this shit.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, that's another thing is even before the vocalist responded, I read a lot of comments that were like, I hope he gets the help he needs,
Right. I mean, there's going to be some people that are going to be, like, pissed and be like, no, they need to do the same to him. But it's like, no, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, I'm no longer a fan of Duncan Bentley, but, he does need to get help. There is something clearly wrong with him, obviously.
But, yeah. Well, obviously, like I said, with abusive bandmates, I say abusive people in general, we all live our lives and we know these people, and we know that sometimes they're not of sound mind, sometimes it's not something they're controlling, sometimes it's just something that is just going around in their head and they don't know it. It's become part of their personality,
pretty much,
and they become narcissists, or they become just
there
abusive in one way or another.
That's what I found, like, his response to be. It sounded very narcissistic, very like, I was like,
did not seem genuine.
It didn't. It was messy. It was pretty crappy, and I remember because they are going on tour with Angel Maker and a couple other bands. I'm still gonna go see them, despite whoever replaces them. But I remember seeing him posting, who am I going to see on this tour? And then after the whole thing surfaced, no one, nobody. Bro. You're going to be seeing nobody. I was like, damn, they really going at him with this. I'm like, damn, they're really going at him. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, well, people are mad, that this shit happens. And, of course, there's going to be people responding the way they do. But
you can't help that.
No, you can't help that. But shit is still wild, man. That's like, holy shit. Like, that day, I was very shocked, pretty pissed off, and I was like, bro, what the fuck? Like, I actually, like, I genuinely like this dude as a vocalist and shit. Thought he might have been, like, nice. Well, I mean, I obviously don't personally know him, but, you think it's like, oh, this guy seems like a genuinely nice dude. Maybe I was like, I might have a decent interaction when I meet him, and I'm like, well, at least, thank goodness that's not going to happen anymore, but
it's just kind of funny because I think at this time in music, like, maybe back in the day, your hero was Rob Halford, or your hero was, Steven Tyler or Michael Jackson or Dimebag. I don't know why I threw Michael Jackson. But you pick somebody larger than life that you would never possibly meet, like Ozzy, or like, now there are so many bands, and now music has basically gotten to a smaller level. Like, I wouldn't say Inferi is the biggest band in the world when, it's like we've gotten to this point where these bands, like we were talking about with struggling and touring and stuff, they are still big, but in the smallest sense, to where you're like, oh, this guy is just like me. Like, he's a cool guy, just like, like he likes cool things, and you're just like, oh, this dude streams on Twitch. He just plays whatever. And you almost feel like you can develop a relationship with these people.
Relationship.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So much easier than it would be like Corey Taylor, for example, So it's like,
I wonder what he thinks of all this.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get that later tonight.
That's the running meme where it's like, what does Corey Taylor think about this? But no one said that with this thing.
But that's what I'm saying is you feel so much. I'd argue that you feel so much closer to like a Twitch or a YouTube star, or one of these musicians, because they are so closer to you on this level.
But I will say, I mean, I would also say this, like, just because, you may hold them closer, it's like, you also have to remember that no one is perfect. Not even your favorite YouTuber, your favorite musician, everyone has flaws. Do not put them on a pedestal. And, there's...
And it's okay to, like, it sucks and it's horrible, but it's okay to let go of somebody because of something like this,
Yeah, definitely.
You don't have to defend a dude who did a Nazi salute, at a bunch of shows. You don't have to, support a dude who did a bunch of questionable pedophilic stuff, like, the running joke being that all of Warped Tour or whatever is just
You're talking
people.
about Davi Vanity.
I'm just kind of putting everything in
I
a
get what you're saying, dude.
generalized
In high
group.
school, I used to say this guy. It's crazy because I remember, high school, I used to say, this guy looks like a pedophile. And then people were like, you're being bogus, Brian. And then guess what happened? I'm like,
a year later or whatever.
what did I fucking say?
Yeah,
boy.
That's what I'm saying is, you put these people on pedestals and they hurt you, and
They
then
can do no wrong. And then some people will try to defend them a lot. And it's like, that's...
There will be people who, no matter what, they're like, well, like...
They're not perfect.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And then that's the thing is, it's okay. It's all right to let these people go. It's okay to be wrong in the very lightest sense possible. There's no stakes here,
there isn't, It's like if your favorite musician is a piece of shit, well...
Or a YouTuber does something stupid, like threaten another YouTuber,
Oh, that's a good way to cut into the next one. But anyways, you guys know the thing. Know the drill. That's pretty much...
That's it. So to wrap this thing up, with metal news specifically, is I just... if you read the dude wrote like 8 pages of stuff. It's a lot.
2 of them are actually the same thing because I actually read through them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a duplicate thrown in there.
Okay.
But yeah, the information's out. There's evidence of this out there.
Yeah.
So like,
none of this is us being cheese mess. It's really out there.
It's really out there.
Yeah.
There's like the whole thing, context, even the photos like of you see the photos of blood on the floor.
Yeah.
It's all on there.
And I don't know. The last page struck me the most simply because the dude was like, well, what should I do? I don't know what I should do. Should I fight for the name of the band?
He tried making himself sound like a martyr, and I'm like, bro, what is this?
He made it sound like he was the hero in all of this, and I'm like, oh, that's what people who manipulate people do.
Yeah,
they make
like,
themselves seem like the victim or the hero.
I don't know, because he was also trying to say that they were also they go through addiction as well, and I'm like,
and that everybody fights, this isn't the first time we fought.
But my thing, and I guess before we end this, my thing with that, if you're bringing up other people's problems into into your statement to defend yourself, that makes you look like a piece of shit,
And it's clear that you're deflecting.
Yeah, you're deflecting because I'm like, okay, why are you bringing their issues up? They, if they're comfortable talking about it, they would do it. But if they're not, you shouldn't be airing that out, in my opinion.
100%.
Yeah, it's like that's pretty shitty. That sounded like you're trying to throw them under the bus for their habits. And I'm not gonna get into whether they actually do it or not. They themselves know what they do. But we're talking about what really just unfolded here. But yeah, that part of the response was like, why are you bringing all this up? Like,
yeah,
especially the whole bank account thing. It's like, bro,
yeah,
you guys got to read this. This shit is nuts.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. It's
And that was such insane. Out of left field thing to do, because it's like, mostly, like, let's be honest, it's mostly one band member who will do stuff like that, like, oh, I'm going to set up a band bank account, or, oh, it's always one person that goes and does that stuff because, at the end of the day, let's be honest, some band members just do the music part, or just do, like, you got a guy who records stuff,
and then you have the guy who manages the finances,
merch,
well,
so it's crazy. Go look at all of that.
At all this. It's nuts.
And
I think that's pretty much like that should be it, for that, unless there's
another
say response,
at the end of the day, what's probably going to happen is they're going to go on this tour. And then that's it. Like,
right now they've been having fill-ins come in from like different bands, just jumping in for songs, and hopefully they find a new vocalist before the tour.
I don't see any momentum after the vocalist posted a statement. I don't see any more stuff like this happening again.
One more thing, he actually removed the ability to comment on it, so nobody can comment it. You can only share or like it. No comments. Not saying that, well, for me, it's like, I'm not saying harass this dude at all, like, obviously, I don't condone any of that. But, yeah,
yes, that's a whole thing. Just, you know, like, I don't know how, because I get it from one aspect is like, you don't want to deal with any of that bullshit that's going to come from this.
That's going to come from this,
but also B, you are literally taking away, you know, the voice of anybody, you know. It's kind of, it's an interesting move. It's an interesting move.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean,
because it would have honestly been a better idea to just leave it open to show that you're not guilty of anything or you're not trying to be manipulative in any way. But
either way,
it is what it is.
There wasn't a way because all the evidence is out there. So I wish Tom well. Same thing with the guys of Ovidinia, you know, especially after all this shit.
Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, it's just gonna move on. You know, they'll have a new singer, and that's it.
Yep, that was metal news.
Metal news. What's next?
You brought up some YouTube shit. I was like,
oh, internet news.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. These two topics are pretty fucking nuts.
Prevalent.
So. Yeah. Pretty prevalent.
Take it away, Brad.
All right, so the first one, because the last one I guess like does involve metal stuff, so I'm gonna put that later on. But this involves another one of my favorite. This person was my favorite content creator. Her name is Illuminati. She makes like documentary like videos and shit, and they're pretty cool. You know, like they're very entertaining. Like I actually ran into her channel. I run to a lot of channels, you know, just like having the autoplay feature on. Mm-hmm. She came on. I think it was her. Do you remember the company Dare, the one that tried getting kids to do drugs?
Dude, I
don't know her program Dare.
If you were a '90s kid, you remember Dare for sure.
You remember Dare, but. She made a video on like, you know, why that never really worked out at all the way it was intended, and it was actually much more shadier than, you know, than it was supposed to be, you know. But so she makes documentary series and stuff. Recently she got herself into some drama over so this all started with her accusing Legal Eagle for stealing an editing style, which is the ripped paper effect and the highlighting parts. But I'm like, what? We've seen that everywhere, you know. I mean, I've seen that whenever we're like watching, like I've seen it in grammar school. The highlighting parts where we
but let's not even look at like that. Like look at like story time animation in general.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? Like it, you know, everything gets ripped, or if you don't want to consider it ripped, it's like, you know, people do story time animations, but they have their own style technically, so it's like being influenced rather than it being ripped completely.
But here's the thing. So basically it's the ripped paper and the highlighting effect that she claimed that they were trying to steal. So what happened is Legal Eagle's editor, that fucking tongue twister, right? But one of his editors was reaching out to Illuminati's, or they were trying to reach out to her or her editors to see which effect because this involves her NFL video where there's like a 3D close-up effect that he liked from that video, and he's like, hey, what kind of plugin did you use for that? Because I want to see if I can replicate it and make it my own way. Mm-hmm. But they were being dicks to him and not really, you know, answering his questions. And he's like, okay, have a nice day, right?
So he just went and did it.
Yeah, he didn't even, so I don't know whether he actually went and did it or not, but so he tried asking, nobody gave him an answer. He's like, all right, he was still being a nice guy about it, and she didn't include that, but she tried to villainize the guy, saying they're trying to steal my my work, they're plagiarizing my style, which was the ripped paper and the highlighting text with a different color. And I'm like, that wasn't even the effect in question at all. But that's basically what she accused them for. She publicly apologized on video, but the reason why that video even happened is because a bunch of other people that she used to work with started coming forward with like the fact that she is a very like terrible person to work with. Very unhinged, very I've been following this drama very closely because there has been so
what she did basically is open Pandora's box accidentally
with this whole Legal Eagle drama. Everyone was shitting on her for it, and so it all started with, you know, like people like The Click, what was it called? I'm Wonder, I think. Hi, I'm Wonder. I forget. I don't know how his name goes, but Wonder. We'll call him Wonder.
Okay.
crap, I forgot the other fucking name of the other guys. But there's multiple content creators coming forward with their experience working with her on a collaborative channel called Sad Milk.
Mm-hmm.
So there's been a bunch of twit-longers about her. She ends up making a video. Obviously, the first part was responding to legal, so it's like, okay, that was handled pretty well. And I was like, oh, seems like she's handling it well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she started calling the clique a pedal defender because of an incident on Discord. So I'm going to get into that. So she said that he knew that someone was soliciting pictures from a 12-year-old girl or some shit. And that he knew about it and didn't do something about it. But when the clique released his video, he said, my team removed him while I was asleep. I was asleep when this whole thing was happening, and by the time I woke up, he was gone. And he had receipts for it. She didn't really show that many receipts in her video. She also, this kind of goes into like how Duncan Bentley was, airing out his bandmates' problems with addiction. She revealed Wonder's, I believe it was Wonder's suicide note in her video, and I'm like,
oh,
why are you doing this? Like, I'm looking at this and I'm like, because when I got to that part of the video of her response,
yeah,
I'm over here like, why the fuck are you doing this? Like, this is not, like, that's not something you do. That's that's something extremely personal. And it's like, because she was trying to defend herself by deflecting as well and trying to say, oh, well, this person's doing this person's that. And I'm like, the whole thing is really stupid. I literally unsubbed to her because I'm like, this person is literally unhinged. She even made a alt account pretending to be someone else, trying to dig up dirt on the clique. She paid someone $200 to basically gather videos of the clique, old videos like 10 years ago of the clique saying like the R word or a bunch of other slurs and shit. And she also she pretended to be autistic, saying that she was offended that he said the R word back then. And I'm like, yeah, like her in her video, she's like, I've never said these words and these words were never in my vocabulary. And I'm like, yet you pretended to be an autistic person in an alt account. What the fuck is wrong with you?
That's not good.
Yeah, like she's been getting exposed left to right, and I'm probably gonna leave like we're probably gonna put links to the whole response videos to like we're gonna add
there seems to be a theme in this video here.
There's a theme in this video. Lies and deceit. No, okay, but anyways, we're gonna leave links to the clique's video in the description. Same thing. I mean, we're probably gonna leave a link to the whole article about Vulvodynia because there was a whole lot to this whole thing, and it's still, I believe it kind of died down a little. We're supposed to get a response video from Wonder. Maybe by the time this thing is out, we'll have it, but a lot of shit is still coming out. It's developing. It's becoming an even bigger shitstorm than ever, honestly.
Jesus.
But yeah, it's just fucking wild. Like, I was like, damn. So there's two people that I was like, favorite vocalist, no longer my favorite. Favorite YouTuber, no longer my favorite. Cause
it's gonna be fun trying to pick a title for this episode.
We'll just call it Lies and Deceit.
I like Lies and Deceit. Yeah,
because holy crap, dude, it's been a nutty week, I guess. For the metal community and YouTube as well. I mean, well, I would say I'm gonna just end it off with the whole Illuminati thing because, like I said, there's just a bunch of crap. I watched too many videos. I can't even remember the names just because of I'm trying to keep up with what I'm gonna say here. But now
it's fine. I'm sure nobody blames you for that.
It's all my fault.
I feel like once something gets so much, so much press and so much heat, eventually so many people dogpile on it. It's really difficult to follow.
And it's funny because I wasn't gonna I wasn't planning on talking about this on the episode, but then at first I was like, oh, she called out someone for plagiarizing something that's common, and then it developed into she's actually a shit and an unhinged person who also needs help, I guess, but that it's pretty fucking nuts. Like, holy shit, you're making alt accounts to basically talk shit about your old friends and stalk them as well, cyber stalk them. Like,
jeez,
that's pretty fucking creepy.
That's crazy as hell.
It is crazy, dude. It's crazy as hell. There's layers upon layers on this shit.
Yeah, and quite literally the definition of manipulative.
I swear to God, dude. Damn, dude, this is a running theme on this. My name's not actually Brian.
My name is Keith.
Anyway, so
his name's Barry.
Barry, yeah. Well, that's the whole end of Illuminati. Now Now for another fun little topic here, which is the YouTube copyright abuse.
That's a good way to turn it around.
Yeah, turn it around.
Yeah,
because this also involves lies. All right,
it's good. It's good. Keep it going.
Keep the lies going. All right, so there has been a bunch of issues with people obviously falsely copyright striking videos on YouTube. I mean, last year, because right now this was like the Illuminati saga. Right, last year we had the whole Actman versus Quantum TV saga, where, long story short, Quantum TV made a video saying that Elden Ring sucks and that people who play it or who like the game are abuse victims. And when people were criticizing his take, he was falsely copywriting their videos. And usually when it comes to a copyright strike on YouTube, if you were to get 3 of them, your channel's gone.
It's done.
And the Actman also got demonetized from all this at some point, but it wasn't because he got copyright strikes. It was for other stuff. That was a long story. But usually people abuse the crap out of this system to silence criticism. Fresh and Fit Podcast has done this. Mm-hmm. Quantum TV has also done this as well. And then there was also I don't play Destiny, but there was a guy who was a part of the Destiny community, who was also pretending to be like, I think the company who made the game, issuing Bungie. He was pretending to be Bungie's legal team, issuing false copyright strikes against them. Well, he's getting sued for like 7 point something million or some shit. But
for representing the company falsely.
Yeah, falsely representing the company and falsely basically copyright striking. But
I didn't know that.
YouTube doesn't fix but see, the thing is though, that system is very abusable.
Yeah.
And like anyone can.
I deal with that a little bit in only one aspect. So Call of Duty, what you can do is you can report a player for like random abuse or whatever, verbal abuse or like cheating and stuff. So you can report a person for anything. And I feel like either they don't have enough people, working or something, but you can report people and get shadow banned or banned without actually doing it. But the thing on YouTube though is that this is because there's obviously people. I mean, we don't get paid doing this. We're not monetized, but there's people who, like big creators that are monetized, whose channels get put at risk for the abuse of this system, and it's pretty fucking shitty, obviously. Yeah. And having everything you built destroyed.
Yeah, and then basically to top this off, recently there's been everyone knows the Eagles, right? Mm-hmm. Well, it turns out that they've also, or I believe it's their team, has been sending copyright strikes to YouTubers who cover their songs.
Oh no!
Yeah, and there was I'm trying to find out what's the name of that one YouTuber who plays bass. I fucking forgot his name. I was like,
Davey.
I believe it might be him. He plays on a fret. He shreds
Davey
on bass.
504.
No, not Davey 504. It's someone else, but we're gonna put the name on there anyways.
Okay.
He played a cover of Hotel California on bass with no accompaniment, just pure, bass.
He got a copyright strike,
which is so fucking rare. I'm like, he wasn't using the original song, and it's also pretty dumb because I mean, this kind of does hit home for me because I used to be a YouTuber who covered songs on the platform, but I also had my fair share of issues. I would get emails saying, "Oh, you got a potential copyright strike for playing this song, and it contains original audio from that." Yeah, I mean, I had my shared. I think I only had. I don't think it ever led to a strike. I think it almost did, but 3 of my videos were blocked.
Jeez,
so
dude.
That also led me to stop recording. But also, Bradley Hall is facing the same issue from the Eagles, and it's bullshit because I'm like, okay, covers are like basically promoting a song for free for like the the musicians that you're covering from, right?
Well, also when you do a cover. A lot of people don't have this awesome technology, like I'm very fortunate. I have a lot of this stuff. I could
spoiled child. Joke.
Hey, I worked hard for all this, damn it. But I can go online and probably find drums unaccompanied by guitar. And I have the technology to record that raw guitar. A lot of people don't have that. They have to play the song, and they play against the song.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't have a team like we do.
Anyways,
but
God damn it.
I mean, I was those people who didn't have that. I was just playing raw audio with the song in the background.
Yeah.
But it is pretty bullshit. I'm like, dude, this is basically. I mean, it would fall under fair use because you're not really playing the original audio. But no, they took it down. Yeah. And not only that, he wasn't even making money from it either because it got copyright claimed. That's like the main thing that might happen in my video. So instead of like, well, I never made money, but if I were to make money, it would go to the basically to the company who owns the rights to that song.
Which whatever, as long as you don't strike my channel down,
But yeah, there's that. And then speaking of copyright abuse, Yngwie Malmsteen's team has also, well, this was last year, but it's being brought up again. They were using the copyright system to silence criticism, mainly from Six String TV and KDH. I was like, and it's funny because Six String TV was only covering, like, he was only criticizing, Yngwie's, or he was basically criticizing his albums from a fan's perspective. He was a huge fan of him. Yeah. Said, which ones are good, which ones are bad, mid, or goated albums. Yeah. Taken down for criticism because he doesn't...
Just because he didn't agree or was salty about it. No, that makes sense because Yngwie Malmsteen is kind of known to be salty.
He's known to hate donuts as well. No, I don't like donuts. But, yeah, I mean...
Oh, my God.
The thing about it, though, it's like, YouTube does need to step in and fix this whole thing because... Yeah. If people are, going to continue to abuse it just to, like, basically take people's livelihoods down, because people live off of this, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, there is no job security with this thing at all. So once you lose your monetization, you lose everything in a way.
And it's a really weird spot right now because I believe as it stands right now, did the CEO of YouTube step down recently?
Oh, Susan Wojcicki or Wojcicki or Wojcicki. Susan left, but I forgot the name of the new guy. But
well, the point is, YouTube is in a transitional period right now. So, they've done a couple of new policies since she left, but it's you don't know how the platform is ever going to transform or change.
Yeah, I mean, and right now, well, the reason they added there is history on why they added the Content ID system, but I really don't know it from the top of my head. YouTube got sued by, I forgot what company it was, but that's the reason why it's there. But the system is very broken, and they should at least
it's extremely
fix
broken.
It. Yeah, because people can falsely copyright strike you, and sometimes they won't do it to like take down criticism. They could also use it to dox creators because when you appeal it, you're actually supposed to put your name and everything and your personal info, and they can get your address and your actual legal name with all of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of just like how Facebook is not really run by any faces, by anybody. Like, if you need help, you're kind of just screwed. If somebody takes your account and starts selling all of your friends like used laptops and stuff.
I mean, in a way, it's almost the same thing with YouTube. Even if you have even if you're a big creator with millions of subscribers, you really need to make a whole hoopla on Twitter just to get YouTube's attention with this whole thing. Like Team YouTube,
or have like a team, like a management team who can get in contact with somebody at YouTube. So, which most creators do not have.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, even the ones that do have them, like sometimes they're no help. They're not really available. But yeah, I mean, it's been a wild time on the interweb. I mean,
it's interesting, man.
Plus, I mean, this is gonna set a new precedent on like guitar covers. Like, are they even gonna be allowed to exist, or are they gonna be taken down because we have copyrighted music now? Like,
it's an interesting realm. I remember when YouTube just was a baby when it first came out, and I have several covers from a channel that I can't get into anymore. I can't get into it.
I still have the same channel, but I deleted a lot of the covers because a lot of them got blocked. And I was like, I wanted to be a guitar tuber, make covers, get big off of this. And well, YouTube is like, this is copyrighted material here. And I'm like, oh, great.
And I've got a channel with tons of covers, but that was, again, it was in the old days of YouTube.
I don't mean to interrupt, but funny story. Yeah. I somehow did land it in the Partners program way back in the day, but I never made anything.
Nice.
Because I guess like back then it was a lot different or some shit, but then they got revoked because I didn't have the requirements anymore or some shit. So I was like, how did I even get this in the first place? But I was like,
yeah.
Anyways, I mean, yeah, for some reason, I had an email saying, yeah, you're no longer going to be a part of the partners program. I didn't even know I was in it. I completely forgot about this.
You're like, damn it, I guess.
Damn it, I guess, because, I mean, my videos didn't make that much, didn't have that much views, so I'm like, what revenue would I got, like 60 cents or some shit?
Yeah, I think I'm trying to think of the most views one of my covers ever got is I got really lucky. I covered Blackfire Upon Us by Death Clock when that first came out, and I think I was one of the only people who had a cover of it. So I think till this day you can Google it and find a really crappy 1080p, like, you know, when that first was a thing.
Everyone look up the video right now.
You could. I could try and link it. I'd have to find it, but
he's not embarrassed of it.
It's like, no, it wasn't. It wasn't a bad cover. I probably could do a better job now.
Yeah, I think the highest amount was like maybe 1,700 at the time. I was
no.
You heard of Starkill, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, when the new song New Inferno Rebirth came out, like 2 days later, I actually learned the song by ear and I covered it from beginning to end. And nice. Yeah, that actually got a really good amount of views, but that was pretty much it. Yeah. I mean, I did had some Cradle of Filth covers there. They're not there anymore, but very... nice. They were not 1080p. They were more like 420.
480.
440.
480, bro.
480, you know, terrible audio, but those actually had the most popular views, which is funny. Yeah. It's like, huh?
That's
These are
funny.
Shit audio, but okay.
You're like, oh no, my cover of Nymphetamine got taken down.
Surprisingly, those never got taken down, but I did. I remember covering a gothic romance, and that was blocked in Germany.
Jesus.
You know, before we go into this next segment, did you know my cover of my solo cover of The Beast and the Harlot finally got blocked on Instagram? But you want to know where it got blocked?
Where?
Belarus and Russia.
Really? Yeah. That's weird, man. Why do you have these issues?
A little over a year after I posted it too.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I'm always a target of copyright issues.
We're very lucky here at Shreddy Bois where most of our content is original. So I think there's literally one episode that we have that got struck just not like for copyright. Like they're like, You have music in here or something. I don't remember what it was. Was it Christmas? It might have been the Christmas episode. But most Christmas music is free to use.
Didn't you use the free to use music for that though?
It's all free to use, yeah. I'm trying to think what it could have been.
When we had guests on and we used their music. Maybe that might have been.
Maybe, but yeah. It doesn't matter. It didn't. It was what is it when you get? It was demonetized. So that's not really a copyright strike.
But we're not even monetized, so that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I know it.
You mean copyright claim?
Maybe.
Because that's the most common. Because, I mean, even though I'm not monetized, I get hit with copyright claims.
Right. Yeah, so I think, we're very lucky. Our YouTube, channel is almost all 100% original.
Yeah. But I mean,
all of our content, even like when we do like our little side stuff, like Swiggity Swag, what's in the bag, I always throw free copyright music or even our music, on the back of videos. So.
Yeah, but I mean, when it comes, because I mean, should I say it? I mean, we are like sort of planning on like maybe doing some covers, but
yeah.
I mean, like
you could say it. I want to do it.
Yeah, like I want to do it, but now it's just like, now seeing what happened with.
Well, what we would have to do is 100% original.
Well, no, that's the thing though. It was 100% original, and it still got taken down.
Yeah. Also, though, we are a small channel, so who knows if we would even get that much attention from it. To be honest,
it can happen because, like I said, my YouTube channel is small, and I got hit with takedown notices. I was like,
so we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, that's the internet news.
That is everything we had to unpack here. It may have been a lot, but
we got one more segment for you guys, and it is new guest Who Dis. All right, let's
cue the caveman riffs.
Holy freaking Jesus!
Holy shit! All right.
All right. Here we are with another ball draining episode.
Ball draining?
I don't know. Here we are with another exciting segment. You know it. You love it from that hit show. Who remembers? It is New Guest Who Dis.
Wow, that's actually a really good intro.
And who do we have on? Who do we have on today's segment, Brian?
We got Cannibal Abortion here.
Woo! Oh, that was weird. What's going on, guys?
Your favorite band? Your
Not much.
favorite caveman riff band?
Your favorite caveman riff band. That's what Brian just said. Would you agree?
Caveman riff. All right.
Yeah.
All right, man.
All right. Well, Jesus Christ. Fine.
All right. So how you guys been? What y'all been up to? Wait, can you guys hear us? Uh-oh.
Yeah, we're just gearing up for some out-of-state shows and trying to finish up some songs for the full length, and we're gonna hopefully start tracking that soon.
Nice.
Very cool.
So we don't really have a date set in stone because we're all procrastinators. So
It'd be like that, you know.
Yeah, I feel like that is
At the
most.
beginning of the year was to have everything recorded by now, and clearly it hasn't done.
yeah,
All right.
we're about like 6 months behind.
That sounds about right. That's your average metal band, right?
2024 is it's gonna be our year.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna slap so hard in
It's gonna slap so
2024.
Only for it to slap harder in 2025.
Yeah.
No, I mean, but it'd be like that, you know. Full-length albums can be a pain in the ass to track at times, you know.
How many tracks were
We're
you
definitely
thinking?
finalizing the writing process.
Yeah.
Doing 10 tracks.
And tracks, yeah.
10's a good number. I think anything more than that, you know, sometimes shit gets lost, and you know, people have very tiny attention spans now these days. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like it's difficult to hold
Yeah, 10's
anybody's
good.
attention. So,
Definitely.
All right, so for those who, you know, in the audience that don't know like anything about you guys, so maybe tell us a bit like about your genre, you know.
pretend there's just some random grandma on the street. And you're like, oh, what music do you play? How would you explain that to this grandma? Rock and roll.
Dan Rock. We'll play at the funeral while she ain't around. We'll say that.
Oh, rock and roll, like Billy Joel.
Like that violent dad rock music.
Like the Beatles. Yeah, like the Beatles. They just suck.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
Brutal
death metal slam. You know, is the term, I guess.
Yeah, it's like I guess you could say that we're like a brutal slamming death metal band. That's technically what we are.
Nice.
And
A lot of verbs.
yeah. But we have a lot of grooves in our music, some slams. Like we have a little bit of influences scattered all over the place, and it like really shows in this upcoming album. You know, I feel like I always tell my guys, I feel like we've very much progressed and matured from what we used to sound like. You know, and like I feel like this full length is really going to demonstrate.
Yeah,
Ooh, nice.
definitely. You know, we were talking about it a little bit before you guys got here, but we were talking about the show that we played at what was it, Magoo's?
Yeah, Magoo's
right?
Thrasher Mall
The
Fest.
Thrasher Mall Fest, and I was first introduced to you guys a long time ago, and I just followed you. I had never seen you guys live, and then you guys had a little moment where I think Sandy was doing vocals for you, right?
He's playing bass.
Okay, so she was playing bass. I remember she was in the band, and then there was this long gap. I still followed you guys, but I had never, saw you guys past that point. And the Thrasher Mall Fest, Vicious Attack was on it, and you guys, I was telling Brian, you guys had by far the biggest audience, and I'd say the most active audience as well.
You guys really stole the show that day.
Yeah. A lot of stuff was crazy, a lot of time issues and stuff, a lot of bands, but you guys came out with the biggest audience, and you got people moving out there, including this guy.
Yeah, I was moving everyone else.
Yeah, he's knocking some heads.
I had this one dude like trying to grab me while I was moshing with him, and then I just kept like throwing him around because he kept trying to wrestle me or some shit. And I was just like, get out of here.
Awesome. It wasn't that, was it?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's probably the same guy. I was it was the end of the night. Some dude slammed into me and messed up my pinky finger. It's actually still messed up to this day. So it's probably the same guy that was running around, dude. He was, I don't know where he got all that energy. Maybe cocaine. I don't know, but.
Maybe cocaine.
Maybe cocaine.
Fantastic.
Maybe cocaine. Because he kept going the entire time, dude. I like move around for 30 seconds and I lose my breath. So I don't know how he did it.
Was it the one with like a ponytail the whole time, or who had like?
Yeah.
It wasn't him, but I remember him from another show that his band played. I knocked him down that time too, but no, it was like some slimmer dude. But yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, that guy had.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's the one that. Yeah, insane.
You
Good
know,
for him.
just finishing basically what we were talking about. You know, when you guys went up, I wasn't out there like him, but I was appreciating from the merch booth. And I was just like, God damn. Like, sometimes, you know, in an age of technical death metal where it's all about, you know, just it's like.
Hold on, let me describe it better. In the age of, you know, these guys with their Harvard University music degree playing asses thinking they better than everyone.
Sometimes you just need some goddamn slam riffs.
Yeah, some caveman riffs that make you want to spin kick the
Caveman riffs.
Exactly.
Yeah. So just basic 4/4 timing.
Yeah.
No bars.
Yeah.
No bullshit.
You know, you guys actually had Mike singing along to the pitch harmonics you guys were playing.
Yeah. Yeah. You're like dun, 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 dun.
I was like, that shit caught me off guard. I was dying.
Quite a few of those too.
Fuck yeah, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, I was just sitting there at the merch booth. I'm like, God damn it! Like I could just do that. Why am I not just doing that? You know, I'm like that's people are goddamn near dancing, and I'm like, man. You guys sounded very good.
Yeah, I know, it was really tight.
Thanks, dude.
What equipment are you running? If you don't mind me nerding out, gear nerding out.
3120 PV.
Okay.
That's my head is the 3120 PV.
Yeah.
And I got the valve key, as well as I got another PV cab, but I can't remember the exact model. But I bought it before syndicate.
Okay.
That's my.
Yeah, and I'm just running a PV 6534 plus through a Vader.
Oh God.
Nice.
Gotta love those Vaders, man. My guitar player has one, and it's like beat to shit, but it still sounds incredible. Yeah. It's just like there's just a staple. You know, we've had a couple bands in this genre, I'd say, on the show or adjacent to it, and it seems like the PV is very much a staple, I'd say, in this genre of music. You know. Whether it be the 5150, the 60 was a 61,
6505.
Yeah, 6505. The 6505 plus.
Biggest staple in the metal community. You can never go wrong with PV.
Hey, why fix what isn't broke, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Serving out chunky riffs.
For my bass rig, I'm running a Janus 6x12 cab with
nice.
It's an Ampeg V4B tube amp. So
very cool. Yeah. That's pretty sweet.
No, it's your
I
turn.
got a bunch of pots and pans. I got a couple buckets, pots and pans from Home Depot, you know. No, I got a custom DW PDP 6-piece kit, and I technically only use like Remo heads, and then for cymbals I have a mixture of like Minol and some Zildjian. So Yeah, I like more of the really fucking hard hitting sound cymbals, like really 18-inch. Anything bigger than that is fucking great too. I feel like having a dynamic of like ranges of sizes of cymbals really gives you that dynamic sound, you know. And like I have like, dude, this is hilarious. I've gone through more branded cymbals than I have this one fucking little splash. And get this, I bought this fucking thing. I don't know how many fucking years ago, dude. Maybe like 3-4 years ago, dude.
Pre-COVID?
Like pre-COVID, dude. And I bought it off of fucking Wish, dude.
No way.
I bought it off of Wish for $3 fucking, dude, and it's not even cracked, and I fucking use it all the time.
Yeah, size doesn't matter.
Size doesn't matter, baby. Let's go splash them.
Holy shit!
Throw that on a T-shirt.
Oh, please, dude.
Man, I didn't know Wish sold cymbals.
Yeah, neither did I.
I mean, I think they sell crack pipes, so I mean, I'm not surprised.
Hey, you know what?
I've seen some ads, and I'm like, that's a crack pipe.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, like you can buy a nice little container, a little backpack for your bird, or a gimp suit. There's no in between. This thing that kind of looks like a butt plug, or a double tiered waffle maker. That's
a new
Wish.
Amazon, man.
Wish for you.
That's
Holy
Wish.
shit.
Give what you wish for.
Yeah.
No, but that's crazy though, because normally like Wish you would probably have like maybe like some of the worst shit that would be like, I don't know, probably break by now. But the fact that it's lasted that long is like, holy shit, that's fucking nuts.
Exactly. Dude, I'm still shocked to this day. I still have it. If you guys were here, seriously, I have maybe like a stack of cymbals that are fucked, dude.
Yeah.
They look all chewed up, dude. And like this one is still perfect condition. I don't get it.
Dude, all right. So the other day, I remember my drummer. You know, his cymbal was cracked to shit. And I'm like, when are you gonna replace that? And I'm like, he's like, oh, you know, I'm just waiting for some money to come in. I'm like, how much? But I asked him curiosity. I'm like, how much are cymbals typically? Like, well, this specific one is like $80, and I'm like, $80 for a goddamn cymbal?
He's
like
one
one of
to the China.
It's one of the smaller ones or something. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Oh, never mind. Wrong one.
Just probably go to Wish.
Yeah. Man, is that just going to be is that going to be an unofficial sponsor for this episode?
This episode is sponsored by Wish.
This episode is sponsored by Wish.com.
The best place to get your durable butt plug cymbals
and candle holders.
All right. All right.
I'm just for the rest of the interview, I'm going to put a little logo, wish.com logo right there at the bottom. Right.
All right. Now I has one question. I has another question for you guys. So how did Cannibal Abortion come together?
That's a
I'm
question.
even trying to remember myself. It was a long time ago. It really came out from another band that I was doing, and we used to be more like a deathcore type of band, and we just wanted to switch things up. So we're like, might as well just change the name. So we came up with Cannibal Abortion. Then none of those members stayed.
Went through some changes.
That's where Sandy came in, Steven from Certain Viscera, Ed from Rain, he did drums.
Hey, I know
And
Ed.
yeah, we released our EP, Malformed to Cannibalism, and everything just picked off from there.
Very cool. Yeah. How many releases do you have like right now, minus the one that you're about to come out in 2025? All right, we're back from New Guest Who Dis. We had the boys in Cannibal Abortion on.
Yeah, your favorite caveman riffs.
We actually played with them. It's a what was it?
It was a
couple months ago
Fest in March.
at Magoo's. Yeah,
definitely.
And man, I would say they got probably the biggest audience of the entire night.
Yeah, I mean, in the most violent pits. People try to grab. This one guy was trying to grab me, and I'm like, "You're not going." Just throw him inside.
They're good. They're good peeps. They're good peeps.
Yeah,
and we're glad to have them on the show.
And to all the Tech Death fans who don't like caveman riffs, I'm gonna just say one thing and one thing only. Shut your Harvard University music degree playing ass up.
Yeah. Take your headless. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say it, Brian. You take your headless guitar and you stick it up your ass.
Well, I know what I'm gonna do after this.
Yeah, I'm just. Let's be honest.
I'm just playing. I'm also a fan of Tech Death. I'm a Tech Death enthusiast.
We're fans of a lot of different metal here at Shreddy Bois.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, if so in the video we've only obviously included about I'd say 15 minutes or so of the interview. If you want to watch the whole thing, it's in a separate video and it's in the description of this post.
Yep, you know what to do. Get on that shit.
You know what to do. Listen to the whole thing.
Listen to the whole thing.
Those sweet views.
Like, subscribe, share it to your friends, your mamas, your papas, your tias, your abuelas, your sisters, your cousins.
Your goddamn cousins.
Who
are like, who don't really like metal, but you force them to listen to it anyway.
You force them to listen to it anyway, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, guys.
Make sure you guys check Cannibal Abortion out of the platforms. You have Apple Music, Spotify, Apple Music, Spotify. El TikTok, el Facebook, Instagram,
God damn it,
YouTube.
we have to do that more. We gotta do it. But yeah, guys, that's it. Go check them out on all the stuff. Check us out on all the stuff.
Comment, subscribe.
Check out our latest tier list video.
Yeah, our latest tier list video. We probably might release another one soon.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on, guys. Definitely. I don't know if you could tell, but we put in a lot of work here. So
yeah, she does at least.
Our team,
our team
does a lot of work.
Alrighty then, guys. Shreddy Bois signing out.
America. America.
Fuck yeah.
Warriors of time and space, traveling through the